Tonight on the County Line, we have all your live and local news from Lawrence and Mercer counties.
A local restaurant serves as a makeshift church after a freak accident. The County Line's Chris Zinkum shows us how the congregation is moving on after an explosion at their church.
In Titantown sports, Jason Mackey takes an inside look at one Westminster club that doesn't mind the cold weather we've seen recently.
And Aiden and I didn't mind the snow either as we went sled riding in this week's On the Road. We're live.
We're local.
The County Line starts now.
That want water ought to stand up and say, we want water. It's the 21st century, guys. We need to get water. And I mean, you know, I'm sorry if somebody has a 1,000-foot lane, but you know, maybe they can use plastic lines and rent a backhoe or do something else. But I'm telling you that this is important to the area for health, for property values. That's my opinion, and that's why I came.
Tempers fly when a proposed water line causes a controversy in Wilmington Township. The fight over well water versus city water is pitting neighbor against neighbor. The County Line was at last week's meeting to get the two-sided story.
And while some people are fighting over their water source, we'll take a look at some local residents who have been getting their water from a natural spring for years. Good evening and welcome to the County Line. I'm Mike Walensky.
And I'm Pat Sandora. Many people in and around Wilmington Township depend on wells for their water supply, but a proposal to bring the water line to nearly 250 residents promises to change that. Aqua Pennsylvania and the township have a plan to install a water line to residents along State Route 158. But while some neighbors support the plan, others, including the Amish, reject it. They fear it'll force them to tap into an expensive water source and give up their wells. Reporter Kirsten Gaitis shows us what happened at last week when locals clashed over the proposed change.
One of the simple things we use every day is causing a major controversy for the people who live along Route 158.
Our water, probably 75% of our water, is full of insecticides and herbicides because of the amount of farms we have around here. Forget about the fecal matter.
There's farms.
That's not what's killing you. That's not what's killing you.
Be quiet.
Insecticides and herbicides are what's killing you. I've put them on the fields myself. And every farmer in here is still putting them on their fields. And where do you think they're going?
Shenango River.
Shenango River, my rear end, are going into the cotton picking wells. The Shenango River. Holy mackerel, who are you kidding, my man? You need to keep your hand down.
The ordinance explains if the water line runs through your property, you must tap in. Not only are you just tapping in, but you will also have to pay a monthly water bill and limit the use of your well. For some, the issue is well water, but for most, the issue is money.
The issue here is big-time money. I think for most people it was money. Then there are some people who just don't want the water. If we had options, if we had some kind of a fee that was reasonable and not have to pay that monthly bill, whether we use the water or not.
Even people who don't want city water agree it may be good for some, but with the ordinance, everyone must tap in.
Water line is probably a good idea, but they don't need to jam it down our throats. I mean, some people need the water, they can tie in. Me, I don't need the water. The Amish, they've been my neighbors for 35 years now. It's against their religion. They don't want the water. And the way they're saying it's mandatory, you're going to have to tie in. Them people ain't going to tie in. They're like me. I'm not going to tie in. I can't afford it.
There will be no immediate action. More research needs to be done before any decision can be made. In New Wilmington, I'm Kirsten Gaitis for the County Line.
Some people say it's healthier than tap water, while others say it tastes better. Whatever the reason, many local residents collect water from natural springs. The County Line's Stevie Nelson heads to a local spring to haul some water.
People bringing jugs just like these come from all over the area to do just this. They say it's worth going the extra mile to get good, free drinking water.
I've been coming here for 20 years.
Is there something about the water?
Oh yeah, it's spring water. I have a spring myself, but I worry about it because it's the type that can get contaminated, and we just use it for just doing things like bathing, clothing, and things like that. We use the drinking water here.
While some people are stocking up on their water, others only stop by to fill their canteens for a quick drink. How long have you been coming here for the water?
As long as I've been alive.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's special about this water here?
Tasty and cold. It's right on the way. There's old train tracks around here we ride on all the time. And it's right on the way to the train tracks, so it's always a nice place to get a drink on the way. A couple hours on the train tracks riding.
What kind of water do you have at home?
Just a well. Doesn't taste very good. Not good at all.
Steve Minozzi comes all the way from Mercer to get water for his family.
Actually, I'm here because my wife likes this water. She used to buy water all the time, and said, why do you buy water when I can go to Leesburg Falls and get it for free? So I did, and I spoiled her, and now this is all she'll drink.
A man from Hermitage fills up as much as he can haul.
I've only got 32 gallons today. I usually get about 60 gallons. But I have some stuff in my truck and I don't have enough room for it.
From jugs to bottles, it seems like this is the locals' favorite watering hole.
Popular place, especially because the falls is, right here, so people get a drink and they go over to see the falls, take a walk in the woods.
Whether you come with jugs, bottles, or on horseback, everyone leaves this Leesburg spring with their thirst quenched. From Leesburg, I'm Stevie Nelson for the County Line.
A busy weekend in nearby Valant. Officials will stock the Neshana Creek starting at 1 p.m. this Saturday. Fly fishing is one of the biggest attractions in Valant, and the town has a variety of events planned throughout the weekend. This year, trout season in Pennsylvania starts at 8 a.m. on April 16th and lasts through Labor Day. So, Mike, have you ever been fly fishing?
I've never actually gone fly fishing. I've been fishing before, but not fly fishing. It looks challenging.
I've never tried it. Well, one time I tried it, but it didn't go so well.
Did you catch anything?
Not so good.
Not so good. All right. Well, from nursing homes to turnpike plazas, this past week was full with local news.
Jessica Rummel has this week's top stories in 889 on the County Line.
Python Radio Digital 88.9 News brings you local news now.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Rummel with this week's top stories from Titan Radio News on 89 FM. With the weather wreaking havoc in the local community, the Lawrence County Department of Public Safety is gearing up for the state's annual weather emergency exercise. The exercise gives facilities such as schools, hospital, and nursing homes the chance to practice the response to several weather conditions. The drills are part of Emergency Preparedness Week, which begins this Sunday. With the recent snowstorms, it's good news to hear that the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission has plans to make their plazas a little more comfortable. The commission would like to add wireless internet access and same-gender restroom attendance. Taxpayers will not be footing the bill, as service plaza vendors are expected to pay for the upgrades. Local nursing homes are also receiving upgrades as the State Department of Welfare will implement new health and safety regulations for Pennsylvania's elderly homes. Improvements include administrator training and larger bedrooms for handicapped residents. Enforcement of the regulations will begin in October. In other state news, Pennsylvania is one of 13 states calling for tougher high school courses and diploma requirements. High school classes and tests will become more rigorous to match the standards and expectations of colleges and future employers. Governor Ed Rendell is behind the effort and wishes to launch a national campaign to address similar public school concerns. On a lighter note, fan of Westminster graduate and Survivor All-Star winner Amber Burkage can now be caught on CBS's Amazing Race. Burkage and her fiancé Rob team up on the reality show, which premiered Tuesday night. They have some local competition, however, as a Youngstown couple are also competitors on the show. That was your 89 on the County Line, and to keep up to date every weekday, tune into Titan Radio for continuous news coverage. More County Line is on the way.
An explosion at a local church left members without a place of worship, but now the congregation is ready to get back on its feet. The New Covenant Christian Center Church of God in Christ held its first regular service at a new location this week. The County Line's Chris Zinkem visits the church's makeshift location and talks to Pastor Barb McCrae.
A recent explosion here at the New Covenant Christian Center Church of God in Christ was ruled accidental. The church members, as well as Reverend McCrae, are still recovering from the disaster.
The pastor, Barb McCrae, spent time in the hospital after being hit by a piece of cement in the explosion. She's out now and she feels much better.
This is my first time, being out in public or anywhere that would be a public place. And so I'm weak right now, but I'm feeling encouraged because I know that I'm a miracle.
The pastor's daughter, Carmen Smoot, tells what it was like to get the fateful phone call from her mom.
She was screaming and she was crying and she was saying, it's gone, and he's not moving, he's not moving.
Meanwhile, the congregation is meeting here at Zion's Daily Bread Family Restaurant for their regular Sunday services.
Elder Wilbur G. Haddon from Mount Zion Church of God in Christ invited us to have the place to worship. And I thought it would be a good idea to have service as soon as we could, because I didn't want to wait, because I wanted to worship the Lord today because of what he had done for me, because I am here, I'm a miracle.
We hope to rebuild in the future. We hope to rebuild on the same location because we own a lot of that property around there. And we hope that we can get a bigger and a better church than what we've had already.
The congregation is relying on prayers and blessings rather than luck to rebuild their church and their future. From Farrell for the County Line, I'm Chris Zinkum.
Aiden and I from going too far on the road, but we braved the snow and headed for the hills. Join us as we review some sled riding safety tips.
We weren't going to stray too far from home this week.
So we decided to go out in the backyard and have some fun sled riding.
Sled riding, yes, and other winter things in general.
Other winter activities. We have a few safety tips will be given to you to help you enjoy your time in the snow. Number one thing is just to have fun. So let's go hit the slopes.
Yes.
I have a few tips for you to stay warm when you're out sled riding or out playing in the snow. Number one, wear a hat because 40 to 50% of your body heat is lost through your head. You also want to make sure you dress in layers to help stay warm, and avoid wearing fabric like cotton because it absorbs water, and you definitely want to stay dry. So fleece is good, polyester is good, wool and Gore-Tex are all great fabrics. It's anything synthetic. You never heard of Gore-Tex?
No, I've never heard Gore-Tex.
It's waterproof, Aiden.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
My next kit will be Gore-Tex.
Next kit will be Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is expensive. Okay, well, you want to wear insulated gloves and a scarf, and also some sunblock and sunglasses, maybe if the bright sun's out.
But there's actually a sun out, unlike today.
That's right.
It's winter.
Now, when you're sledding, you want to wear a helmet, and you want to make sure that you're sled riding in an open area, free from trees, roads, ponds, and creeks. You want to make sure that there's nothing for you to hit. And if you are sled riding down the hill and something comes in your way, roll off your sled. Don't try to steer around it. Also, make sure you're aware of other sled riders, and any hill you pick should have a slope less than 30 degrees. That does it for this week's On the Road. I'm Mike.
I'm Aiden, and we'll catch you next week on the road.
We're here at Newcastle Public Library to see why people visit New Wilmington and what they'd like to see come into the area.
We go to the Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington. My mom lives in Mercer, and we stop at Pizza Joe's and pick up pizza quite a bit before we go to her house because it's her favorite.
Sometimes I'll take my car up to Wagner's, and then you want to go have breakfast, but the only place open is Isley's. And you think, why aren't the restaurants open for breakfast? They open maybe at noon and close at 4 or something like that. Now they're closed altogether. But I used to like the Shortstop and the feed mill, and they don't open till later in the day.
I've been into the tavern to eat. We've been in the area of Vermont and such, and I've been to the college. I've been there for concerts. I didn't go to that college, but yes, I liked it.
I'd like to see more of these corner grocery stores, the mom and pop stores, which I thought was nice. Brings back a lot of memories.
Well, that's what's going on in the area at the Newcastle Public Library. Back to you in the studio, Kirsten.
Thank you, Catherine. With the Business Expo on its way, many people don't really understand what exactly it is. So tonight, we have co-chair of the Business Expo, Betty Jones, here to answer the questions. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
What exactly is the Business Expo?
It's an event that the Chamber of Commerce here in New Wilmington has been sponsoring for the past 3 years to get the public aware of what kind of businesses and what business opportunities there are here in the area, where they can shop, where they can look for services.
And why was it created?
It was created because there's a lot of businesses in the area that maybe be home-based or maybe don't have a storefront on Main Street. And so we want them to know where they can look for services. Sometimes you want to meet the people that you're going to deal with and not actually look at a phone book just to find a name or a number. Maybe you see your neighbor going to work every day, but you don't know exactly what they do. So it's nice to come to the Expo and walk up to a table and learn about services and businesses in the area.
What types of businesses come to the Expo?
There is a very, very wide variety. We have everything from pet and animal supplies and veterinarians to healthcare to small home-based business, in-home parties, healthcare professions, food vendors, food businesses. So I think people will be very pleasantly surprised when they walk in and find out exactly the variety of businesses that we have in the New Wilmington area.
Where do you find these businesses that want to come?
Actually, they find us. This is our 3rd year for the New Wilmington Area Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. And we actually have people calling us and saying, I've heard that this is a wonderful event. I've talked to other people in business, and they tell me that they got a lot of business from it and that they met a lot of people. It was a great networking opportunity for them, and we want to know how we can be part of this. We've also done advertising in the paper, and of course our own New Wilmington Chamber members as well are out there talking to other people about what's going on in the area and how they can get involved.
About how many businesses will be there?
This year, so far, we already have a little over 100 businesses.
Wow.
We have 113 tables as of this morning scheduled to be there. So there'll be a lot of happening things going on at the field house that day.
What can you expect if you go to this?
Well, again, for the general public that comes, it's a great way to spend the day. Doesn't cost you anything. There's no admission to get in. It will give you the opportunity to meet with business people and also socialize and see a lot of friends. Also the free prizes. Every business that will be attending and having a booth will have a door prize that you can register to win. And so a lot of people do come for that. And that's okay. That's why we want them to come. We want them to come and experience the whole fun thing.
What kind of door prizes do they give away?
Oh, everything from tickets to the Celebrity Series to coffee pots, DVD players, gift baskets, chocolate. Some people do give gifts that are related to their business. But like myself, for instance, I work for a retirement community, so I can't actually give something away from that. But I do have promotional items like coffee mugs with our names on them, so I combine that with a coffee pot and some coffee and biscotti, that kind of thing.
What kind of benefits would you get from going to this?
Well, when you're looking for a business service, you don't have to go outside of the area. You can learn what's in the Wilmington area and surrounding areas. It's not just New Wilmington. We have people coming to the Expo, businesses from as far away as Youngstown and Butler. So it's not just right in the immediate area, but it means you don't have to go to Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Erie, something like that to look for services that you're wanting.
And anyone can go?
Anyone can go. It's open to the public.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being here tonight and to clear all that up for us.
Thank you very much, and I hope everybody will come.
If you're interested, the 3rd Annual Business Expo will be held Saturday, March 19th at the Westminster College Memorial Fieldhouse from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission is free, and there will be door prizes. Moore County Line after the break.
I got a filet of sole and a cracked crab for Mr. Studied higher math back in school and now can order expensive lunches and charge it to the company.
Next office down the hall.
Well, thanks. Have a good one.
Bro Fernandez, congratulations! You can now get college loans, government jobs, and job training. Men must register with Selective Service when they turn 18. Go to sss.gov or the post office.
It's the law.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed at Westminster College.
Welcome back to the County Line, and thanks for joining us here for Titan Town Sports. This week we are feeling the ladies. Not literally, of course. That would be wrong. But as we start, the Westminster Lady Titans, who have had an amazing 7-day stretch after upsetting number 2 seed Grove City last Friday, Westminster moved on to the President's Athletic Conference Finals to take on the bad guys, W&J. To the highlights we go. The Presidents had won 7 of 8 in this series. This is one of the most heated rivalries in the President's Athletic Conference. Early on, Mary Jane Eaton under the hoop gets a turnaround shot to go. Mary Jane finished with 12 points for the Lady Titans. Anytime you talk about Westminster, you have to mention their defense, and Coach Scott's defense came to play in the conference title game. Courtney Jansack for W&J dribbling in the corner. She'll lose it to Desiree Sterling, who will go coast to coast. Nobody's going to catch her. Desiree finished with a game high and a career high 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. We move on to the second half. Late second half, Allison Gasper on the line with a chance to clinch the ball game, knocks down her free throws. The Lady Titans win 64-59, and they are the 05 conference champs. Congratulations. That win got the Lady Titans into the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history, and they are making the most of it. Last night, they beat the number 19 team in the country, Dickinson College, 54-50. Sterling again led Westminster with a 19-point performance. Second round game on Saturday against Messiah. Messiah ranked in the top 10 nationally. That tip-off at 7 p.m. You can catch it on Titan Radio 88.9 FM. More championship action from the past week, now in District 10 at the high school level. Welcome to the Rock. Slippery Rock, District 10 3A, Grove City and Franklin. Franklin came in as the favorite, Grove City the number 3 seed. Early on for the Knights of Franklin, Giuseppe Barone hits 2 3-pointers. He had 5 on the night, 20 points, a game high for the senior guard. Grove City really struggled in the first half. They'd go into the locker room down 26-9 after shooting just 16%, and they were in a world of trouble against a very good Franklin squad. Early in the second half, though, Grove City came out firing. Ben Husband sinks the 3. He finished with 12 points. And Grove City would make a couple runs here with the patented Eagle ball work. They would cut it to 11 in the second half. They traveled really well, as Grove City always does. They have a great fan base. And here Ryan King hits the free throw. He had 14 to leave Grove City, but it wouldn't be enough. They fell to Franklin 59-42. Both teams moving on to the state playoffs, and they will join these other local teams in the state playoffs. Newcastle in Quad A joins Grove City, Farrell and Kennedy Catholic on the boys' side. As for the girls, Hickory in AAA and the Steelerettes of Farrell in Single A. All those games will be played Friday night or Saturday afternoon. Back to campus, where despite the best efforts of the goons involved in the NHL lockout, we still have hockey in the form of the college's ice hockey club team. Jason Mackey takes us for an inside look.
Hockey these days has been awfully tough to come by. But if you look in the right places, you just might find some.
I don't care if we get credit or not. We get a lot of fans that come out, and well, not really a lot, but we get some fans that come out. It's fun. I have fun coming out here and playing against these guys. So.
The NHL has recently canceled its season. Some of Westminster's players credit their upstart to their own hometown team.
I watched the Penguins back in 90 and 91 when they won the Stanley Cups, and it made me want to start playing, so I did. It was a lot of fun.
A new addition to the team, goaltender Jason Weeman, has a positive outlook on the season.
I'm steadily improving every game, and hopefully I just keep getting better and better. We're improving. We started off kind of slow. I only joined the team halfway through the season, and I can see us getting better every game, and the team's playing hard, and that's all that counts.
A lot of college hockey players are under scholarship. Westminster's aren't. Westminster has a club hockey team, and they're not the least bit worried about money. They play the game for the reason the game should be played, for fun and having a good time with your friends. For the County Line, I'm Jason Mackey.
Last week, Reynolds High School junior Matt Dunn wrestled his way to his 3rd straight District 10 championship. Our one-on-one this week features Matt and our own DJ Yoakley. If it gets physical, DJ, I got your back. No, I don't. You're on your own.
I'm DJ Yoakley here with District 10 champion, former state champion Matt Dunn. Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start the questions with, what's your inspiration to wrestling? What really motivates you to keep going?
Well, really, I just wrestle so I can get into college for free. That's the big plan anyway.
So definitely you're trying to keep, money in your pocket, trying to keep it easy on your parents?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite move in wrestling? We know you know a lot because you're obviously a state champion. What's your favorite of all of them?
Well, I'd have to say, since I've been wrestling for a while, that I know a lot of moves, and now I'm just really going back to the basics to use because they work easier, and usually a move's always going to be open, so I don't usually force it on the kid, and I'd have to say it'd be a shot, it'd be the high crotch. That's my favorite.
Okay, let's get into the cauliflower issue. A lot of wrestlers are big into the cauliflower thing. They don't like it. They're afraid of it. Are you?
Not really. As long as I wear my headgear, there shouldn't be a problem with getting it.
All right, now here's the question everybody wants to know. WWE, are we going to see Matt Dunn there in a few years, or are you totally against it for a reason?
Well, first of all, I'm little. I won't be growing that much, but I don't watch it, so I don't really know anything about it, and so...
could you take one of those wrestlers, do you think?
Not right now.
Do you think you could take me?
Yeah. Yeah, I could. Definitely.
You could take me? Okay. Well, there you have it. At Reynolds High School, I'm DJ Yoakley with Matt Dunn for the County Line.
All right, DJ, I hope you made it out of that headlock all right. That does it for Titantown Sports. Thanks for hanging out. More County Line coming up after the break.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
The Lawrence County Humane Society believes in the safety of spaying and neutering your animals. Spaying and neutering can have many long-term benefits.
We at the Lawrence County Humane Society believe that all animals should be spayed or neutered. Many reasons why, but the biggest reason is that they will be a happier, healthier pet. Also, it alleviates the overpopulation problem.
Getting your animals spayed and neutered is one huge step in making sure that more animals are healthy and find loving homes.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only thing I'm guilty of is giving you too much love, making you crazy, making you rat, making me fall, making me suspect. Seem to think I'm playing her game. Don't you know her? This is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Newly elected Pennsylvania Attorney General Thomas Corbett is the keynote speaker for the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce's annual dinner next Wednesday. This will be his first public speaking engagement in Lawrence County since his inauguration. Prior to being elected, Corbett was appointed Attorney General by former Governor Tom Ridge. He was also appointed U.S. Attorney by President George H. Bush. He has prosecuted drug dealers, organized crime members, murderers, and rapists. He will bring his tough on crimes message to the dinner. Well, that just about does it for this week. Join us next week on the County Line for all your local news updates.
Sebastian Driver will have all the highlights from your local sports teams in Titantown Sports.
And Aiden and I will check out another local place when we go on the road.
Plus, we'll have the rest of what's going on in Lawrence and Mercer counties. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Pat Sandora.
And I'm Mike Walensky. Have a good night.
Good night.